All right, folks, a little pro tip video today about psychology. Psychology and dealing with firearms and anything else safety related in law enforcement. When you go to check and make sure your gun is unloaded, this is what we very commonly see. You drop the magazine and you look down inside the chamber and you make sure there's no ammo in the chamber, right? Wrong. That's not what you're looking for. This is why perspective is important, and I'm going to show you in a second here. Perspective is important because if we look for something, that's what we are going to be finding, right? So if we're looking for an empty chamber and we see something that looks like an empty chamber, we are going to assume that what we have is an empty chamber. And the problem is that with any gun, you can have a situation where the extractor breaks and you don't actually have an empty chamber. And then when you go to check the gun or clean the gun or do whatever else with it and you pull the trigger expecting the hammer to drop and get a click, you're going to end up getting a bang. Let me lock this back and show you here. This is something that I see very, very often on the range with people that are new to AR-15s. They look inside that chamber and they go, oh, I'm looking for an empty chamber, I'm looking for an empty chamber, I'm looking for an empty chamber, and because they're looking for it, that's what they're seeing. They're seeing, oh, what's that? It got caught inside the chamber of the gun, a live round. See, there was a round in the gun, but when we pulled the bolt back, it didn't extract it, and it got stuck in there. This is really common when you have a failure to feed, you have a double feed of some kind, the round will get stuck in there, there'll be some grit in there, and so it slips the extractor, and you get a round stuck inside the chamber. We have to be careful that we are looking for the things that we're trying to find. If you're checking to see if your gun is unloaded, you're not looking for an empty chamber and an empty magazine well, you're looking for a magazine and you're looking for brass. You're looking for the bullets in the gun. And then if you don't find the bullets in the gun, then you know they're not in there. If you look for an empty chamber, you're going to find an empty chamber 99% of the time, even if the head of this is stuck down inside. So keep that in mind. That's why psychology is important to law enforcement. That's why your perspective is important to law enforcement. And that's why this channel is 99% about perspective that you come to the job with. Until next week, you guys be safe. Take care of each other, and after you check your chamber, check your neighbor's chamber, because that's the smart thing to do. I'd like to thank all the Patreon supporters, and especially the shift supervisor level Patreon supporters that we have listed here. Your contributions are what allows free field training to continue on and become better.